You look out your window and you see Sir Galahad over here dancing on the hood of her car.
No, I didn't see him.
But that's not what she told the police.
Why would you tell the police you saw him jumping up and down on victim's vehicle?
All that report is all messed up.
She would know the truth if it came up and knocked her right in the nose.
Parties on Trujillo versus Fuentes. Step forward, please.
24-year-old clerk Stephanie Trujillo claims her former best friend's boyfriend, Robert Fuentes, 24, kicked her car. Robert says she deserved it.
Order, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 302 on the calendar in the matter of Trujillo versus Fuentes. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
All right, Ms. Trujillo, you can relax for a moment.
Okay.
Because I'm going to direct my attention to Mr. Fuentes. You vandalized her car. Did a little damage. According to her, you did a little tap dance on the hood. Now, you seem to acknowledge the fact in your answer, sir, or you admit in your answer, that you did, in fact, do a little damage to her car. Right?
Yeah.
What I'm getting is, from your answer, and it's sort of convoluted, is that when you did the damage to her car, you didn't know it was her car, you thought it was somebody else's car, and when you found out it was her car, she deserved it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. This is a good case.
Pretty quick.
All right. Now, you want to tell me why you were doing a dance on a car that you thought was somebody else's?
Well, first of all, didn't nobody do a dance on her car.
Tell me how you vandalized her car.
I kicked her car.
You kicked it?
Yeah.
Where?
The door.
And that wasn't an accident. You did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because she was getting involved in my life. I didn't like how she was doing it.
Just a second. When you kicked this car door, you didn't know it was her car. You thought it was somebody else's car.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was somebody
Right?
else's. Exactly.
Whose car did you think it was?
My baby's mom's.
Your baby's mother,
Yes.
who you were angry at.
Yeah, well, she hit my car, so I kicked her car back.
So you were getting even.
Exactly.
And then, whoops, you found out it was the wrong car.
Yeah.
Found out it was her car. And then you said to yourself, what?
Then I told him that, you know, she had owed me money for my car. They were living together. They were like best of friends.
Just a minute. Not she. She didn't owe you any money. The mother of your baby owed you money.
Yeah. But she was living with her, right?
Yeah.
She wasn't paying rent, so kind of like, you know, they were like a team. So in my eyes, they both owed me money. She was pumping her up, you know, turning her against me, so she was kind of like the cause of it, you know?
How old are you?
24.
Could I see the estimates and the pictures of this car, please? You have a witness who saw him do this to your car?
Well, she was supposed to be my witness, but now she's on his side.
Who is she?
She's his baby's mother.
Ah,
Can I say something?
step up here. Just a second. No, you don't say anything. You answer my questions. Tell me your name. That's first.
Esperanza Quiñones.
All right. Now, Miss Quinones, you're in your house.
Yes.
You were living with her at the time?
No, that was my apartment. She
You-
was staying with me.
You were living together at the time?
Yes. That was my apartment, though. She was just
Who
staying
cares? And you looked out the window,
with me. Yes.
right? Just answer my questions. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, I do.
You look here and you answer my questions. Because I know everything. You look out your window and you see Sir Galahad over here dancing on the hood of her car. And you called her.
No, I didn't see him. I heard the noises. I heard somebody
Heard the
messing up with her.
noises. So you looked out the window. And what did you see?
I couldn't see if you were to see how the apartment looks when they park the
No,
cars
no, no,
on the
look here.
side,
Yeah.
you can't see where the cars are parked. So I didn't actually see him. I heard some noises, but because we were
What
fighting
kind
at
of
the time.
noise? Shh.
Well, when they're jumping on the car, you know, the noises that, you know, when you're hitting a car, those kind of noises.
All right. So just stop right there. You didn't hear just one hit on a car. You heard half a dozen.
Yes, I did.
Right. And then what did you do?
Well, I ran downstairs, and by the time I ran downstairs, I didn't see anybody hitting the car. But there was a lot of group of guys and girls that don't like her. So, you know, there was people, you know, that don't like her. So I figured, you know, it could have been him because at the time we were arguing. And
He
we were
says it was
fighting.
him. Stop
You know,
talking about other boys and girls.
It was him, but he kicked the car. He kicked the car. He didn't say he did all the damages that are on the car. So, you know, I didn't actually see him do it. I can't say he did it, you know?
Sit down.
So there was a lot of...
Sit down. Good. Well, whether you danced on the hood or whether you just kicked it a whole bunch of times, sir, there's plenty of damage that comes just from kicking. And if anybody's dumb enough to take out their frustrations on a car, probably dumb enough to dance all over the hood too.
I have police report that the witness filed saying that he did do the damage to my car.
Not a witness. I can't look at a witness's statement. Is it his
No,
statement?
it's a police report that she filed saying what he did to my car.
Who's she?
That she's Esperanza. That she's seen him
let
do
me
it to
see
my
that. That I'll see. Oh, that I'll look at.
Stephanie Trujillo wants Robert Fuentes to pay the damages she says Robert did to her car when he stomped on it.
You saw him jumping up and down on victim's vehicle. Why would you tell that to the police?
At that time, like I said, we were fighting. Before that happened, I had went downstairs. Before he even did that to the car, I had already went downstairs. We got in an argument. She was instigating, telling me a lot of stuff about him. I'm the one that kicked his car first. And then, you know, when he did that, he spit at me.
He thought it was your car.
Yeah, he thought it was my car.
That's not my question. My question is, why would you tell the police?
I
Why
just
would
answered
you
your
lie?
question. I was mad. I was
Why
mad.
would you
At
lie?
that point, I was
so
mad.
So you
at
lied
him.
to the police.
Well, if that's what
Just
you
a
want to
minute.
call it.
What do you mean? That's what I want to call it. Here you tell me you saw nothing.
I did.
And to the police, you told that you saw.
Okay, first of all, that report is all wrong because his brother's name is on there. His brother wasn't even there that day, which is Christopher Fuentes. He was not there that day. All that report is all messed up, all of it. Because when I spoke to one of the detectives, they told me the wrong story, and I didn't get to fix the story. Whatever. They just wrote it all wrong. Period.
Judge Judy?
Shh, just a second. I can't read this. And
Okay.
Listen, she would know the truth if it came up and knocked her right in the
Well,
nose.
at the point when you're mad, you know, you say things that you don't mean.
All right. Let me read this to you. So, two police got it wrong. Two different sets of police got it wrong. So I read this to you. It says, he spit in the victim's face and then ran down to his vehicle. The victim heard loud noises from her bedroom window, which overlooks the alley to the rear of her residence. She looked downstairs and observed the suspect jumping up and down on top of Miss Trujillo's vehicle, causing numerous dents. So two police got it all wrong, right?
That is wrong. I didn't
all
see.
wrong.
I didn't see.
Sit down. Sit down. Did you have the car fixed?
Yes, I did.
Did you have it fixed for this amount?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Did you have it fixed for this amount?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
$4,093
And 2 cents.
and 2
That's
cents.
probably
You
what
are
her whole car's
absolutely
worth.
right. Judgment in this case,
That's
you're the
probably what
plaintiff
her
in the
whole
amount of
car's worth is
$4,093 and 2 cents.
$4,000.
Put her out.
Parties are excused. Step out.
We don't get along now, so now she's on his side and she can't make up her mind what she wants to say, so.
Nobody changed the story. You know, they did get the report wrong, but, you know, judge is always right, so what could I say?
Parties on Viramontes versus Allen. Step forward, please.
Mobile homeowners Jack and Margaret Viramontes are suing mobile home seller June Allen for not disclosing a suicide on their property before they bought it. They want the blood-stained carpet replaced.
You bought a mobile home from the defendant. Your complaint alleges that, unbeknownst to you, someone had committed suicide in the mobile home, leaving bloodstains on the carpet. You want her to replace all the carpet. That's
Yes,
what this
ma'am.
case is about?
Yes, ma'am.
You say someone did, in fact, commit suicide in your home.
Yes.
You replaced whatever areas that were there that were bloodied as a result of that. What makes you think she has to tell you that somebody committed suicide in the house when she sells you a home?
Because it's supposed to be disclosed,
What's supposed to be disclosed?
a suicide within 3 years on a disclosure.
Really? Let me see.
It's in here where?
I never heard of that disclosure before.
Me neither.
Excuse me, Your Honor, I'm a real estate agent, and
Step up here. Tell me your name.
Rita Callison.
No, over there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Over there. Yes?
And according to the law of California,
Just a second. Show me a statute. You can't quote a law to me. Show me something that says.
it
This
should be
doesn't-
in that file.
This says no cause of action arises against an owner of real property, that's you, or an agent, for the failure to disclose to the transferee, that's you, the occurrence of an occupant's death upon real property or the manner of death where the death has occurred more than 3 years prior to the date of the transfer or purchase or lease, or that the occupant of the property was afflicted with or died from AIDS.
Right. In other words, anything that happened prior to the 3 years prior.
Doesn't say that here.
So anything less than 3 years.
It says no cause of action arises afterwards, but it doesn't say what your cause of action is before. Why didn't you bring me that?
Well, our procedures in California is disclosures on everything that affects the sellability of the
Well, I don't see-
property.
quite frankly, I don't see how a suicide of some guest, this was a guest in your home?
He was my fiance.
I don't see how that can affect the saleability of the home. Usually a crack in the walls affect the saleability of a home. You know, I don't know. In California, it's all very spooky here
We even
because they
have-
may say, you know, in California, they say, well, maybe the place is haunted by ghosts, you know, or spirits or something else. There's a lot of that out here.
We have to even disclose if there's drugs next door, if there's been reports to police of problems, if there's a motorcycle gang that lives next door.
I don't
by
have
law.
this, listen to me. I don't have, you want her to buy back the motorhome from you? Or the
No.
home?
I don't mind.
Well, he says no.
It's not up to him. It's up to me.
Jack and Margaret Viramontes want their blood-stained carpet replaced by previous homeowner June Allen.
This realtor says that the law says that she has to disclose it. But I don't have what the law says your remedies are. Now, your remedy may be that you are permitted to, within that window of time, force her to repurchase the property for what you paid for it. I don't have that.
Why did she leave the rug in front of the door with the stains on it?
Didn't you see it when you were there?
No.
No. I'm sorry.
Who are you?
I'm sorry.
Sit down.
It was raining. There's a rug there.
Yeah.
Your Honor, there's
Just a
a
sec.
throw rug on the carpet, and through the walkthrough that we did, it was a rainy season. We seen it 3 feet away from the door.
Right.
We went through the walkthrough and everything. We purchased the mobile home. Then when we moved in, the same carpet, the same throw rug was right there. We lifted it up, and there's stains. We tried to have the carpet cleaned, and the carpet company said they're not ink stains.
You can't tell me what the carpet company said. Did the stains come out or did they not come out?
No.
So why don't you just replace the carpeting?
That's all I'm asking for.
So
My
why don't
daughter
you
moved
replace the
out
carpeting?
because she's thinking,
Listen to me.
she's thinking that somebody committed suicide, and she thought that were blood stains, and I did too. And every time I go past that carpet and I see those
Don't
stains,
talk
I
to
have
her.
to. I have to.
Don't talk to her.
I have
Talk
to
to me.
cover Jerry up.
Listen to me, madam. You bought a place. when you buy a place, you're supposed to look at it. If there are stains on the carpet, you're supposed to see it. If you're buying a place because, just be quiet.
I didn't look underneath the rug
Your
until we
Honor,
moved in.
Your
Well,
Honor,
why not?
Well,
Your Honor,
Just a second, why not?
I should look under a rug, a throw rug when it's raining. It's rainy season. Aren't you supposed
Well,
to
if
have a
the-
rug down to wipe your feet?
If the carpet was important to you, then I would take a look at the carpet and see what's there. What I'm saying to
Well,
you
if
is,
you're honest, you know, you don't have a throw rug over some stains like that. Thank you.
you seem to be very upset about the whole sense of somebody having died in the
Yes.
house. So if you want to rescind the sale and you have an opportunity to do that under the law, as this lady seems to suggest, why don't you do that?
I don't think I should have to do that. She's the one that was wrong in this
No,
place.
just
My
a
daughter
minute.
had to move out because he committed suicide. I don't sleep good. She didn't.
If you don't sleep good and your daughter moved out of the house and you don't want to live there anymore, and this realtor seems to say you have a cause of action in the civil court to rescind the contract of sale because she misrepresented to you that somebody died in the house or she failed to disclose it, why don't you do that? If you say that this is all about your trauma and pain and suffering and your daughter had to move out of the house and you don't sleep well and everything else, you have the ability to do that. Isn't that right?
That's true.
Fine. Then that's what they should do. This lady seems very upset. According to her,
Well,
this has very little to do with the little stains on the carpet
They didn't
and everything
find out
to do
until
with the
after the
fact that
fact.
I read the papers. Listen, you don't get this kind of upset over just a couple of stains
It wasn't
on
until
carpet.
a week after we closed escrow that they called me and told me at that time that was I aware that somebody had committed suicide to the property, and I said no, I
Your
wasn't.
Honor,
Just a second. Yeah, go ahead.
And when we
Go
do a
ahead.
walkthrough, you do not normally.
What are you poking him for? Stop poking him.
He's supposed to take
Stop
his
poking him.
turn.
Your Honor, we found out weeks later that my stepdaughter found out from her friend that somebody committed suicide in the mobile home.
So?
Your Honor.
Just a minute.
So?
Judge, I'm asking you. So what? If you want out of the deal, sue her in civil court to rescind the contract, and if the law is on your side, she will be forced to buy back the property from you. But what are you doing here over stains on a piece of carpet? You should have looked for stains on carpet. You did a walkthrough. That's your problem.
Your
You don't
Honor.
normally move furniture to check behind furniture.
You didn't have to move furniture. All you had to do was pick up a rug, according
It
to her.
was the rainy season.
Oh,
Your
rainy
Honor.
season.
The rug is in front of a chair at the entrance.
Listen, madam, were you the realtor on this case?
Yes, I was.
Then you didn't do your job.
Yes, she did.
You didn't do your job because if they were buying this place and one of the reasons that they bought it was because it was in move-in condition and they wanted the exact same carpet and they wanted everything perfectly, you should have checked everything. And if there's a little carpet in front of an area, in front of the front door, and I don't care if it was rainy, sneezing, snow, sleet, frogs, locusts, you pick up and you say, listen, I want to see what all this carpet looks like. You didn't do that. And if these people want to get out of the deal, according to their broker, they can do that. Is that right?
That's true.
So do it. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was bail to get me out of jail.
Well, I assume that's what
Right.
bail is. For what?
His blind date had to bail him out.
Did you know about this warrant before he moved in?
Yes, I did.
Not a testament to your good judgment.
All parties on Watson versus Tolbert. Step forward, please.
42-year-old Betty Jane Watson is suing her former boyfriend, 40-year-old Greg Tolbert, for assault and $1,000 bail.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 333 on the calendar in the matter of Watson versus Tolbert. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Watson, according to your papers, the defendant is a former boyfriend of yours who lived with you for a short time while he was there, amassed a debt to you, the amount of about $5,000, which is what you're suing him for.
That's correct.
First, there was a bail that you posted for him that was $1,000, and then you're going to tell me about the rest. He has a rather interesting defense, which we'll get to in a moment. All right. The $1,000 bail, he does not deny that you posted for him. Is that right, sir?
That is correct.
What was this bail for?
It was a warrant for in Orange County Court for possession of a controlled substance.
Okay. Did you know about this warrant before he moved in?
Yes, I did.
Not a testament to your good judgment.
True.
All right, so then after you posted this $1,000 bail for him, then he moved in, because I couldn't figure that out.
Right. I didn't ask him to move in. He moved in on his own.
Miss Watson, he moved in with you. Come on.
Yes.
He moved in with you. Now, did he ever give you the $1,000 back?
No.
Tell me about the $1,000. Did he call you from jail?
Well, a friend of mine told me that I had met him previously. He was in jail. I went to visit him.
In jail?
Yes. I went to visit him. I'd never been to jail before. I said, your bail is only $1,000. He said, bail me out. My parents are wealthy. They'll pay you back.
He said, bail me out. My parents are wealthy. They'll pay you back.
Right.
So you did?
Yes, I did.
Now, that's $1,000. What's the other $4,000 that you say that he owes you?
Rent, utility.
All right. When he moved into your house, what kind of an arrangement did you have for the rent?
There was no arrangement. I did not ask him to move in. He got bailed out of jail. I came into my home. He was lying on the couch. I didn't expect him to stay.
But he did?
Yes.
And how long did he stay?
Approximately 5 months.
And what's this other $4,000 for that you're suing him for?
Physical injury.
Well, tell me about that.
He assaulted me. I had had surgery on my nose 3 days prior. My nose was in a cast. He grabbed me by my hair, threw me to the ground, kicked me. I had to call 911. Huntington Beach police were called. He was removed from my home.
What was the fight about?
I lent him my car, and he came back to my door and said, your car is totaled. I had just had surgery. I said, you're kidding. He said, it ran out of gas. I said, deal with it. I started to shut the door on him, and he threw it open, and that's when he grabbed my hair and threw me to the ground against a bookcase and kicked me.
That's not true.
Well, tell me what happened, sir.
I returned back to Betty's house, mentioned I did kid her about the car being totaled.
Well, tell me how the car was totaled, sir.
It wasn't, ma'am. I was just kidding her because I got dropped off by a taxi and asked her, just don't.
You borrowed her car?
Yes, I was running an errand for her when it ran out of gas. And,
you mean it ran out of gas all by itself? Cars don't usually take themselves to the gas station.
Right,
usually a person behind the wheel takes the car to the gas station. Don't you look at the gas gauge?
I wasn't really paying attention to it. No, I had a lot in my mind.
So what did you do?
I was really lucky. A taxi just happened to be going by. I stopped it and got a ride to her house. Just joking her, I said, "Yeah, it's totaled," and I go, "No, I'm just kidding. It's out of gas. I need to call a friend so I can get a gas can and go." And
why didn't you take the cab to a gas station, get a gas can, and go back to the car? Was I raising my voice?
I didn't think about that.
You didn't think about that?
No, I don't think I had enough money to pay for a deposit on a gas can or anything like that.
How much did the cab cost you?
Cost me just about what I had. I think I had like $15 to my name, and the cab cost me $10.
What did you do for this 5 months that you were living with her?
Well, when she bailed me out of jail, we never had a written contract that was signed. It was all oral.
What was
contract.
Oral?
Like as far as some way of paying her back this like $1,000. I did numerous jobs on her house that's being fixed up because she's like selling it now, and a lot of hard work in the bedroom in the evening, numerous jobs, and that was that's why I don't feel, Your Honor, I don't owe her $1,000 for a lot of hard work and jobs I've done around her house.
Betty Jane Watson claims former boyfriend Greg Tolbert beat her. He says they fought, but she was abusing her medication.
You lived there for 5 months, is that right?
Yep.
According to Miss Watson, there was no agreement or contract with regard to rent.
There was an oral agreement.
Well, let me hear. You didn't tell me about an oral agreement, Miss Watson. All you said
early-
was he sort of broke into your house, you found them living on the couch, sleeping on the couch, and you said, how was it get out of jail?
Well,
And then he just sort of hung out there.
Eventually, when he did not seek employment,
Eventually. How much eventually? A month, 2 months, 3 months?
I would say a month.
Yeah.
I would say it's $350 a month, retroactive.
Just a minute. Did you have a conversation with her where she said the rent was $350 a month?
No, we never discussed that or anything
That's not
about,
true.
about rent or anything. I work for myself. I clean carpets and whatever I could.
You clean my
whatever
carpets?
Yes, I did. Whatever I would make, I would contribute, chip into paying part of my share.
Miss Watson, don't talk to him. Let us say I believe you, which I don't, that you had this conversation with him that it's going to be $350 a month retroactive. And he didn't pay you for that second month. What happened in the third month?
I told him that he could fix things in my home to work off his rent.
Okay. You had, Miss Watson, I'm sorry to tell this to you, you had no agreement with him to pay you back the $1,000 for bail because according to you, he didn't promise to pay you back.
Yes, he did.
No, what he said was, my parents are wealthy, they'll pay you back. And you accepted giving him the $1,000 based on not his promise to pay you back. He said his parents would pay you back.
I trusted him.
You trusted him?
Yes.
You trusted somebody who was arrested on a warrant for possession of drugs to pay you back?
I took him at his word.
Well, did you call his parents?
No.
Okay. Now, then let's skip over this rent business. He says he worked it off, and according to you, you sort of accepted that because you said he could work off doing odd jobs around the house to pay off his rent. And you want to show me pictures of why you are not satisfied with the work he did around the house. Is that what you want to show me?
Especially the garage.
Sure, I'll take a look at it.
I need an electrical contractor to fix what he did.
And when did he do the garage
When I
work?
started pressuring him for money.
That was after the second month.
Correct.
But he lived there for 5 months. Why don't you just throw his keister out of your house?
He threatened me.
That's not true.
So what? You called the police on him once. Why didn't you call the police on him when he threatened you and you wanted him out of your house? Why?
Bad judgment.
Well, but you don't come to court for bad judgment, Miss Watson. You know, bad judgment you chalk up to experience and you say, listen, I made a mistake. The guy's a loser. And
I didn't deserve to be assaulted by him.
Absolutely. I haven't gotten to the assault yet. So let me hear what proof you have of this assault. He says that he didn't assault you.
I have
Let me see your bills
the
from the
emergency room
hospital.
bill.
Let me see it.
This is in his writing, what he owes when he spoke to his parents.
What is this? With these
He
little
wrote that.
boxes here. Parents.
That's a checkoff box.
Got haircut. What does that mean? With a little box here. What does that mean?
He got a haircut.
You ever been in a drug program? What? Is not an answer.
I'm attending one right now, yes.
He has been kicked out twice.
How could I tell that? Got a haircut. Get a life would be better. How much did you pay for the emergency room visits?
The bill was $500.
$61.
True.
You must have been pretty angry when she slammed the door in your face. Is not an answer.
No,
Under the influence, maybe.
I did not hit her, and if the police felt that, I believe they would have arrested me that night. You know, when I talked to them, I'd never hit her, and I didn't, become.
She didn't say it. She said you pulled her hair, threw her up against the cabinet, and kicked her.
No, that's not true. That's not true. She became physical abusive with me.
So why didn't you
Give me a
leave?
break.
So why didn't you leave?
Poor you.
Well, I was.
Miss Watson.
Do
you take medication?
No.
Not sure about that either.
I may need some.
Betty Jane Watson wants her former boyfriend, Greg Tolbert, to pay back the $1,000 bail and her medical bills, claiming he beat her.
Well, I don't know which of you has worst judgment, but I have a sense, Miss Watson, it's you, because it seems to me as if you got stuck with a lot of problems as a result of this charmer. $561 is what it cost her in the emergency room for x-rays, etc., after this incident. Who do you think should pay for that?
Did I pay for that?
Who do you think should pay for that?
I honestly didn't hit her or do any of that damage. Or what she's saying is, you know, I didn't do that.
What kind of drugs did you use, sir, that require you to be in a drug program? Is not an answer.
It was
crack.
No. Methamphetamine.
Crank.
Crank.
Right.
Crank. Where do you get the money for that? Is not an answer.
Well, like I
clean carpets.
Clean carpets for myself. My
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $561. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the door to your right.
We met at a hotel room and hit it off right away, and she knew what she was bailing out of jail. You know, she knew what she was getting out for. You know, her $1,000. You know.
Well, I made bad judgment. I won't do it again.
And now the next case.
Parties on Pretty versus Pretty. Step forward, please.
22-year-old hospital worker Joshua Pretty is suing his estranged wife, 20-year-old Denise Pretty, for her newborn's medical bills. He says the baby is not his.
Who are you?
The witness, Dawn.
If we need you, we'll call you. Would you take the baby outside, please?
Yes.
Mr. Pretty, according to your complaint, you and the defendant are married. You married after this baby was born.
No, we married before she was born.
But while she was pregnant?
Yes.
You are now in the process of divorcing.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to tell me what you're suing for, sir?
Some of the medical bills, which...
Medical bills for what?
For when
What
she
are
was
you
pregnant.
Hmm?
Because of the fact that after we were married, they came out and said the kid may not be mine. And I need to know the truth. I need to know if the kid is mine.
So why don't you go for a paternity test?
That's what we're going to be doing.
Well, you would agree, would you not, that if, assuming that he is not the father of this child for a moment, then he shouldn't be required to pay anything. You would agree with that?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's fine, so that after the test results, you can come back to court. That's fine. Now, so we just dealt with your claim, at least temporarily. Now, you have a counterclaim.
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
What's your counterclaim for?
My counterclaim is in regards to the wedding ring sets that's on my mother's account.
Well, who's suing, you or your mother?
I believe I would be considered on that part. The price of the rings, because it went on my account because they did not have any credit.
Well, who did you make the arrangements with regard to the wedding rings?
The two of them.
The two of them?
Yes.
Tell me how that came about.
They needed to get married. They did get married. They wanted to get their wedding rings. Could not get credit on their own. I said, yes, you can get it on my account, but I want the payments made. I believe he made about 6 months of payments towards these rings and then quit paying it.
How much did your daughter pay? How much
I
did you
believe
pay?
she made 2 months of payments and Joshua paid the rest. And I believe they were like $90 a month.
Excuse
Who
me, ma'am?
paid?
I paid them. She had no job.
How much were these rings altogether?
Probably close to about 2,000.
How much were the rings?
I figure about 14.
What do you mean you figure about? Do you have a receipt? You
No.
buy rings, you get a receipt.
No, I don't have the receipt, but I know that my account at that point was approximately $1,400.
No, madam. Listen to me. It's not, you come to court, you come prepared. Mm-hmm. They were put on your credit card.
Right.
So that means that at one point you got a statement, and the statement said, Lovely Jewelers, $1,400. Mm-hmm. And you know the jewelry store where you bought them? so that you can always get a duplicate. You can get a
Correct.
duplicate from your credit card. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this was a joint obligation because you both agreed to pay her back?
Yes, ma'am.
So that each of you would be responsible for half. Is that right?
Yes,
Ma'am. She has the rings. She turned the rings back into the jewelry store after we split up. I
Did
gave
you?
her the rings.
Yes.
And how much credit did they give you?
They didn't give us any credit. They want us to pay it off.
Then what'd you give the rings back for?
To put it towards so they wouldn't keep billing us anymore for the rings.
Is being
All
held.
right, just a second. Give me a break. Where you people are coming from? You got the bill. Let's say it was $1,400, which you're going to have to bring to me when you get the results of these blood tests back. When you give the rings back to the store, they either say to you, all right, we'll take them back. We'll give you so much for them. We'll give you half. We'll give you 3/4. We'll give you so much for the rings. But the rest you have to give us. We're not taking it back completely. Now, he said he's paid already a substantial portion for the rings. How many months' payments did you make?
Approximately 6.
So he's paid six
They were
$90
$100
payments?
$90 or $100 payments.
Okay. So he paid something towards it. So as far as I'm concerned, it's very possible that they said, just give us back the rings. He's made some payments. We'll call it even.
I paid about, if it was $1,400, ma'am, I paid half. I paid almost half because it was almost, it was between $90 and $100 a month for 6 months. That's almost half of it.
And did you pay by check or cash?
Usually cash.
Who'd you give the cash to?
The jewelry store itself.
Did you get a receipt?
Yes, ma'am.
So you must have the receipts.
I don't have them with me because I
You
wasn't
bring them back with the tests that you're going to take. So you're going today to take your blood tests?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going today?
Yes.
Good. We'll reschedule this case as soon as I get the results of the blood tests. That's all.
Parties are excused. This will be recalled. Parties on Hollopter versus Ambrose. Step forward, please.
42-year-old hairdresser Kathy Hollopter is suing her son, 18-year-old Michael Ambrose, for smashing her car with a pipe. Michael is suing his stepfather, Robert Hollopter, for assault.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 322 on the calendar in the matter of Hollopter versus Ambrose. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mrs. Hollopter, who is the owner of the car in question?
I am.
And this is your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you have a seat, sir? You filed this lawsuit against the defendant, who's your son, for damaging your car.
Correct.
Which you say occurred in an altercation that involved your husband.
Yes.
I have a couple of preliminary questions. When I read these papers, it appears that there is currently an action pending against your husband in some court. Is that a criminal case pending against your husband or a civil case?
Both, I am assuming.
What do you mean you're assuming?
Okay, the criminal...
Was he arrested?
Yes, he was, for disorderly conduct as well as my son.
Okay. So, we are not going to entertain, sir, your counterclaim. If it's true that the action is still pending against your stepfather, then we can't take your hands out of your pockets. Then we can't entertain your counterclaim right now because he can't testify. Do you understand?
Ma'am, the only one that's currently against him is assault, and that's a totally different matter.
Assault against whom?
Assault against my girlfriend.
As a result of this incident?
Yes.
I understand that. Doesn't make any difference. If he's going to testify here, he would be testifying as to this incident. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, why don't you tell me what happened?
On the evening of July 21st, my husband and I got a phone call stating that my middle son, Jim, who's also our witness, had brought some people over to Michael's house wanting to buy the car that he had not paid my husband for in January.
Okay, so let's start. You had purchased a car from your stepfather.
No, ma'am, I gave him what was a down payment on the car, and we had a verbal agreement because he had another vehicle at that time that he had
Just
purchased.
a second. You were going to buy a car from your stepfather.
Yeah.
And there came a time when they wanted the car back because you weren't making payments, or they said you weren't making payments.
No, ma'am, I had gave them a down payment, and I gave them a little here and a little there because that was our verbal agreement.
Okay, but there came a time that they wanted the car back, which caused them to come over to your house that day.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what happened?
And
That's what they were doing there.
Yes, ma'am, because I called them and told them to come pick up the car, that it was fine. And when they arrived at my house, Mr. Hollipter was in my mother's car, and apparently he was highly intoxicated.
Okay. So you went to pick up the car with your husband?
Correct.
What happened when you got there?
Well, I went on in the house and visited with his girlfriend and my 3 grandbabies.
So what happened?
There
was a problem with your husband. Look, I read the papers. There was clearly a problem with your husband. Your husband came into the house at some point and started a little bit of trouble, which caused you to have your other son. Is this your other? You have another
Your
son?
Honor.
Who are you?
Jimmy.
This is your other son?
My middle son, yes.
Which caused him to come in and take your husband and put him out into the car?
Yes, at my request.
Okay, because he was creating a problem in the house.
There was obscene language. Michael got out of the car, and my husband approached him and said, let's me and you talk about this car. And he says, you man. And my husband had an empty can of beer, threw it down on the ground. I got up after hearing the language and the tone of voice, and I opened the door. Michael rushed in real fast past me and caused me to lose my balance and go over to the side of the door. And then my husband came in right after him. Then my son came in and I said, grab him, Jim. I didn't want any altercation.
Grab who?
My husband. I did not want anybody hurt.
Good. So you told your middle son over here to grab your husband and take him out to the car.
Yes, and I was helping.
So according to your papers, you're in the car. Husband's getting into the car and you're in the car. You're all about to leave when he comes out.
Correct.
And what happened when he came out?
Michael ran past me with a steel pipe about 3.5 feet long. And as we were putting my husband into the car on the passenger side, he hits the top of my door frame with a steel pipe. I'm going around to the driver's side, and he comes around to my side, is poking and gouging me and my husband with this pipe, ripped my seat, a tear about this long. He had my door body blocked open to where I could not get away. I was scared and shaken and everything else, but I did manage to get my keys back. Floorboarded my car. He grabs it. He still had the pipe in his hand like this and batted the back of my small rear glass window.
You have the photographs for me?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. They are attached to the estimates.
All right, Mr. Ambrose. Now I'll hear you.
All right, I just pulled up, and Mr. Hollipter was in the car. And when he got out, look, I was already inside of my fenced-in yard. And he came up, and he had a full bottle or a full can of beer in his hand. And he said something, and I said, "Ma'am, whatever." And he said, "Don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you." And anyway, I proceeded to step up on my front porch, where he came inside my yard and grabbed me by my arm and pulled me down. Okay, and I was trying to avoid conflict, so I stepped up on my porch, went inside the house, and my girlfriend Anna, I told her to get on the phone, which is right by the door, okay, and she was on the phone with the police when he busted in my door. And when he busted the door open, it came open and it cut my son's, one of my 3 babies' toe open, the weather stripping on the bottom of the door, and I have pictures of my door, the police report.
You have pictures of the foot?
I have pictures of the foot, but they didn't come out clear. But
well, that to me was more important than anything else.
I have a copy of the bill.
Just a second. That to me was more important than anything else. But we're not going to get into your counterclaim right now. I'm listening to this because it's important, because you were clearly very angry.
Yes, ma'am, because I felt that I had to defend my home because somebody came into my house.
Kathy Hollipter says her son, Michael Ambrose, ripped into her car with a pipe during an altercation with his stepfather, Robert Hollipter.
Now, Mr. Ambrose, so let's take this step by step. There came a point after all this happened that your mother and your brother were trying to get your stepfather, drunk or sober, back into the car. Now, you, according to you, were stuck in your house because you couldn't get the door open.
Yes, ma'am, because when he busted in, my doorknob was busted off. Our door frame has an 1.5 inch gap in it.
Let's assume all of that is true. He is now out of the house. You are stuck in your house and you can't open the door.
I climbed out my window.
So you climbed out the window. And where did you find this pipe?
Sitting right beside my flower pot, because we've got like 4 stairs, and you walk down, there's an extra pole there.
So you walked down the 4 steps, and there you saw this pole.
I flew down.
Flew down. And you flew down because you were?
Because somebody had came into my house and assaulted me, my girlfriend, and one of my kids and done damage to my property.
But they were leaving and you were no longer in danger, Mr. Ambrose. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I do, and
Good!
I understand that they was trying to flee the scene of what, you know.
Mr. Ambrose, you didn't have unknown burglars in your house trying to flee the scene. You had your mother and her husband and your brother. Your family was no longer in harm's way.
Well, the damage had already been done, ma'am.
Right! Right.
None of this would have occurred if somebody wouldn't have came into my house. Nothing would have occurred like that.
You're absolutely right. But the law says that once there is an intervening event, you are no longer protecting your property. Especially in this situation. These were not, as I said to you, two strangers who had invaded your home. This was your mother and her husband and your brother, and it was a family situation, and a very hostile family situation that was very stupid to begin with, to bring somebody who was hot-tempered and had a little too much to drink probably to the house. But you knew where they were, you knew where they lived. If you waited for the police come and you say, someone broke into my house, assaulted my wife, hurt my child, broke my door, I want to file a police report. They're not fleeing the jurisdiction, they're not going to Argentina. This is where they live. You were very angry, and what you did was you went outside, and for no reason that is legally acceptable, you damaged your mother's car.
All right.
All right.
Can I have my papers back?
You'll get them back. The estimates that I have for the car.
Well, I have pictures of that car showing that there's no way that there's any kind of, you know, that there's any way that the estimate could be $1,000.
Mr. Hollipter is a mechanic. He works odd jobs as a mechanic, and he has lots of friends who would do these for him. Those pictures were taken at her place of employment.
Without my knowledge, Your Honor.
What difference does it make? Alleged damage to the interior. The seats are ripped from where you ripped the seats with the pole.
No, ma'am, that's wear and tear on that vehicle.
We've had people look at the pictures, and they said there is no way that
Don't tell me what other people said.
An estimate.
You can't tell me what other people said in this proceeding. What year car is this?
It's a 1987 with 126,000 miles and a racing engine in it.
1987, so
Yes,
the car
ma'am.
is 11
Grand
years
Am.
old.
Yes.
I think that your son may be right. I can't tell whether this damage was caused by a pole or caused by something other than a pole, sort of like...
Well, it was caused from the jagged end of the pipe on the seat. And my shoulder also had a bruise and a scratch on it from that. I had several bruises, but I did not think to take pictures of it. I thought since it was a family matter, we could resolve it.
Well, unfortunately you can't, and unfortunately I can't hear the rest of this case because of the matter that's pending, the criminal matter that's pending against your husband. But I am going to give you $300 to have your car painted, this 11-year-old car. That's all. Judgment in the case is for the plaintiff, the amount of $300. That's all.
It had a brand new paint job on it when I bought it.
That's all.
Step out. We'll get you your paperwork. Step out.
I didn't get what I expected I would get for the damage that was done to my car, and it shouldn't matter that a car is 11 years old.
She's the boss, applesauce. That's it, man.
And now the next case.
All parties on Windler versus Benson Schneiderman. Step forward, please.
44-year-old administrator John Windler says his sport utility truck was dinged by 5-year-old Marco Schneiderman.
Well, I've read both of your papers, your complaint and your response, and this is not a very difficult legal question, something that happens to people all the time, so I don't quite understand your position, Miss Benson, because according to these papers, you were in a parking lot. Parked your car. What kind of car did you have?
1996 Ford Explorer.
And the defendant and her little boy were in the same parking lot and parked right next to your car. And according to these papers, your little boy was scurrying into the car. You were trying to put him into the car, and the door opened up wide, dinging your car.
That is correct.
So tell me what happened, sir.
I approached my car from the rear, saw her putting her child in the back rear.
This adorable little thing right over here.
Well, I believe that is the case. And she was putting him in the driver's side rear door, and as she was putting him in, the door was flung open and consequently hit my door, and the same time I went up, showed the defendant where it hit the door and showed her the mark on the door.
Describe the ding on the door.
About 1/4 of an inch long, all the way through the paint so that you could see the bare metal underneath, about 1/8 of an inch high.
44-year-old administrator John Windler says his sport utility truck was dinged by 5-year-old Marco Schneiderman.
What kind of conversation transpired after you saw this ding on your car?
Pointed out to her, asked her if I could get her information. She gave me her business card, and she seemed to indicate that it was, I'm paraphrasing, but I believe the conversation went something on the order of door dings are a part of living in Los Angeles, and that, you know, I should just go on my way.
So you took your car, I'm sure, and had an estimate done?
Yes.
Good. I'm going to take a look at that in a second. Okay, so you gave him your business card?
Well, as I recall, after I had put my son in the car and I had warned him that the car parked next to us was very close, I opened the door and he was scurrying up into his car seat. He was barely 4 years old at the time. Just had almost, he says he was 3, but he had just turned 4. And as he was getting into the car seat, the door inched open a little bit more. There wasn't enough room really for it to go too much farther, and it bumped very slightly the car next to us. And the next thing I remember is this man waving his arms and screaming at my son. And Marco began to cry. And I gave him my card and said, "Don't yell at my son. Please call me if you would like to talk about this."
Okay. Let me see.
The estimate?
Mm-hmm. Well, your estimate is for how much?
$229.
Why are you suing her for $537.17?
There was, we also got an estimate for a rental car for the week while we were, while we'd be out the use of my car. We called both Enterprise
They
and
need
Hertz.
a week to paint a car?
They
To
need
paint
a
a
week.
ding on a car? Forget it. They don't need a week to paint a car. Look, Miss Benson, and this clearly was an accident, right? That's why they have accident insurance rather than on-purpose insurance. Don't you feel as if you're responsible for it?
I would feel responsible if I knew for certain that my son had opened the car door and caused the damage that they're claiming that he caused.
I'd like to say something.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there, but I spoke to her after the fact.
Who are you?
My name's Catherine Windler, and I'm John's wife. And I tried to call the defendant and work it out with her. When I called her, I said, "Look, there's been a problem with, you know, this accident," and she said, "Well, so what? Look, I don't feel like I should have to pay for this because door dings are part of life in Los Angeles. Get a life."
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Why didn't you just resolve it with her?
I'd said, I'm sorry. I did say, I'm sorry that you have a ding in your door. If we caused it, I'll help pay for it. But she insisted that we pay for the whole thing. And
Well, what do you mean help pay for it? If the ding was caused by your 5-year-old son, I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. He was trying to get into a car. But if it was caused by you, certainly wasn't caused by them, why do you feel as if they should share the cost in fixing it?
She threw out the figure of $500 almost right away, and I said, there is no way that my son caused $500.
No, the damage to the car was $229. That's the estimate to have it fixed.
At that point, I thought she became very unreasonable.
Did you say to her dings are part of life in Los Angeles?
I did. I believe that. I mean, I have dings all over my car, and I'm not out suing anyone.
Certainly, if I were out of my car and I saw somebody whack my car on the side and there was a ding or a dent or a scratch in my brand new car, I would want that person to make good and take care of it.
I take exception to the term whack. There was not that kind of force involved.
Whether you believe that there was or there wasn't. You had an opportunity to look at it. You chose not to do that because you were upset.
I did look at it. There was a small scratch on the door.
Well, that's what he says. He says it was just 1/4 of an inch, but he said it went all the way down to the paint, to the base of the car.
I don't know how it could have gone all the way down to the paint.
I don't know how either, madam, but it's unlikely that he added a ding in the exact same place caused at some other time other than this time. So pay the money and forget about it. You know, you do something, you're responsible for something, you're supposed to make good at it, put a period and move on with your life. That's all. His son didn't mean to do it. He's an adorable little boy. But that happens when you're putting kids in a car. So you go have your car fixed. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $229. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Mr. Schulman, you know what it sounds like to me, sir? You were hoping for something more than friendship. Did he ever come on to you?
Told me he said he's in love with me.
He bet big on a chance at romance.
Did she pay you any money, sir?
She didn't pay me anything.
Of course she didn't. You want to know why she didn't? Because she lies.
Parties on Truman versus Sally. Step forward, please.
42-year-old Robert Schumann insists 25-year-old Malipon Sally owes him for not paying rent, damaging his car, and a gambling debt. She says Robert became too possessive.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 358 on the calendar in the matter of Truman versus Sally. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Truman, according to your complaint, you met and became involved with the defendant. You rented her a room in your home.
I rented her a house.
And she didn't pay rent.
That's correct.
You then lent her a car, and she damaged the car, and she didn't pay to repair it.
That's correct.
And then you took her gambling with you and gave her money to gamble, and she didn't pay you back.
That's correct. She was already gambling.
But you went together,
Right.
because you did lend her the money, according to you, when you were both gambling together, right?
That's correct.
All right, so she was a renter who didn't pay rent. She borrowed your car, trashed it, didn't fix it. You took her gambling. She lost money. You gave her money for gambling. She never paid you back. When did you wake up and say, this is not a good thing?
About toward the, maybe about the middle of August. That was after she had already told me about maybe her 25th lie and the different excuses on how she was going to pay me back. And after hearing it over and over again, I got tired of it.
How long did she live in your house?
About 4 months.
And in the 4 months period that she lived there, how many times did she pay rent?
She didn't pay rent at all.
And how much was she supposed to pay in rent?
$450.
A month?
Yes.
So after the first month that she lived there, sir, why didn't you boot her out?
I kind of felt sorry for her because actually we kind of developed a friendship. And she had told me at the beginning of May that she couldn't pay the security deposit or the month of May because of the fact that she had her money lost.
She lost her money?
She said she lost her money at work or something. So I told her that.
Well, what about the second month?
As far as the second month is concerned, I began to know her a little bit more, and she began to make up more and more different stories on kind of problems that she was having. She was telling me at that time that basically is that her workplace was withholding all of her paychecks and things like that, not paying her at work.
What kind of work was she doing?
She was working as a waitress in Hollywood or something.
Go ahead.
So I told her that, even on top of that, though, you should be able to pay, your rent from your tip, because she was telling me that she was making at least $1,000 a week.
Okay, so there's month 2. Now, month 3, sir, she didn't pay you anything.
She basically told me at that time that she had a large trust account up north.
Trust?
Right. And that she was going to go up north, and that she was going to go and get the money and bring it back.
And that's when you lent her your car?
No, I lent her the car in May.
So right away you lent her the car?
Yes.
And you lent her the car, and the car died according to your papers, and it had to be towed back to where you lived?
That's correct.
What was wrong with the car?
The transmission was completely damaged.
Well, was it her fault that the transmission went?
Basically, that the transmission, the seal of the transmission broke, but that wasn't the cause of damage. That she had continued to drive the car for several miles after that, on a bad transmission, basically, even though all the warning lights and everything else was flashing on the car. She just continued to drive it for a long period of time until he eventually just broke the whole drivetrain and smashed the front wheels too.
And now let's talk about the gambling. How much money did you give her to gamble, and under what circumstances?
About $1,000 over a period of 4 months.
Why?
Basically, she was already involved in gambling. She was playing what's known as Asian games in the California card rooms. And I frequent card clubs also. And I just didn't feel that that was a good game to play. It's a very high-risk game. As far as any kind of gambling, as far as I'm concerned, is risky.
Any kind of gambling is risky, especially when you don't have money to pay your rent.
Yeah, that's true. And, but,
what do you do for a living?
I'm an entertainment consultant for the casinos.
So you're a businessman?
Yes.
Mr. Schumann, you're a businessman. Here's somebody who couldn't afford to pay you rent, she says. Where does she get money to play?
She seems to have money all the time.
Well, if she seemed to have money all the time, why didn't you say to her, I want my rent?
That's what I had told her before.
But you continued to go gambling with her.
She would go ahead and take the money and eventually just tell me that, okay, well, after I picked up some money from my work and I'm going to bring it home and I'll pay you. And then when I come back home, she would be off to the casino somewhere, and then she would tell me the money I was going to pay you, I had lost it playing cards.
So that was very bad judgment on her part, right?
Yes.
Then you gave her more money, $1,000 over 4 months. Why would you give her more money?
Because at that time, when I thought to teach her how to play poker, because she was playing in the Asian games herself. So I taught her how to play poker, and she began to win. And she was almost winning every time she was going there. But instead of paying me the money and paying me back when she borrowed the money, she would take the money and give them to her friends.
All right, so Mr. Schumann, so you take her the first time and you show her how to play poker after she's lost money playing Asian games. So you teach her how to play poker and you see that she's winning. She's not giving you the money that she owes you from money that you had given her for gambling. She's not paying your rent. She's not paying for the repairs on the car. And you continue to give her money for gambling, according to you. Right?
That's correct. But over the period of 4 months' time, she had made at least 8 or 9, I don't know, maybe even 10 trips up north saying how she was going to bring the money back. So every time she would disappear for 3 or 4 days and say that she was going to sell her furniture, and in a second she had another apartment, she was going to go ahead and get a security deposit back and bring back that security deposit. I find out later she never even had a second apartment. She told me she was going to go up north and then sell her car to her brother because her brother wanted her car. Find out later that she had already sold the car to her brother a long time ago.
You know what it sounds like to me, sir? You were hoping for something more than friendship. That's what it sounds like to me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What are you doing going gambling if you don't have money to pay rent? What are you laughing at? Try to keep it together.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Entertainment consultant Robert Schumann claims part-time waitress Mally Pond Sally owes him for gambling, rent, and a broken-down car.
All right, Miss Sally, let me hear your side of the story. Did you pay rent?
No.
Why?
Because he didn't tell me to pay. First, he told me to move in. He's going to help me go through.
What?
Because, yeah. Because he didn't tell me to pay. He told me to move in there in the house, and he wanted me to stay in his master bedroom, and he's going to stay downstairs where the other room is open. And then I didn't want to stay in his master bedroom, so I said I'd rather stay downstairs.
And you're telling me there was no agreement as far as rent? Is not an answer. Miss Sally, did you agree to pay him at some point rent of $450 a month?
No.
How much did you agree to pay him?
I said wait until I'm working and I could afford to pay him rent, and he says okay. Because when I moved in there, I have about $900, and they stole the money.
Who stole the money?
There's other people that lives in there, rent the room from him. And I can't, I don't know.
Just a second. So you're working all this time that you're living there as a waitress?
I pay him some back. So when I have,
how much did you pay him back?
I don't remember. Sometimes I give him $100, $50 when I make my tips, and I gave him some of the stuff back. And then when I didn't really play Asian what he was saying that game. I just go with my friend, but my friend's a gambler, so I never played. And then he teach me how to play Hold'em, because he said I could make a living playing Hold'em instead of working.
What are you doing going gambling if you don't have money to pay rent? According to you, you said to him, I'll pay you rent as soon as I get more money from my work.
No, I didn't say.
That's what you just said to me. Okay. You said there was not an agreement to give him $450 a month rent. But I told him I would pay him rent as soon as I started making money. That's what you just told me, right?
I didn't say that, but it's just, if I have the money, I would help him pay the rent, but he
No,
didn't.
Miss Sally, that's what you just told me. What are you laughing at? Try to keep it together. So if you don't have the money to pay rent, where do you come off? Going to a gambling place?
I just go, my friend goes there. That's the only person I know in LA. I just moved from Sacramento, so she gambled. I just go with her, but then I didn't gamble.
You took money from him to gamble?
He's the one that banked me up. I said, you know, when I lost my tip money, $50, I said,
why were you playing with your tip money? Here you go. You promised this man, according to you. Let's say I don't believe him, that you said you were going to give him $450 a month. Let's say I believe you. I'm going to give you money, Mr. Schumann, as soon as I, you know, start gathering up some money again, because my money was stolen.
It was.
So you gather up $50, and instead of giving it to him, you went and gambled with it. Let's talk about the car.
Okay.
You borrowed his car.
I told him I was going to get a rent-a-car. My friend was going to give me a rent-a-car, but he said he loaned me the car to take it home. So I drove home. I don't know what happened. Made it in the middle of LA and Sacramento. The transmission just blew up 6 in the morning. It just, that thing, the water just come out. I don't know, and I pulled over. And then I called the towing truck, and then I towed back here. I went home first with my mom and asked my mom get the money.
That's not important. Did you drive the car after you saw the lights on in the car?
No. I went, the thing, the water came out, just pulled over on the side, and I called a towing truck.
Did you ever tell him you would pay him for the car?
That time he didn't get mad or nothing, and I didn't say I was going to pay, because he said that time wasn't the money thing. He doesn't care about the money.
Did he ever make any advances towards you socially?
What does that question means?
Did he ever come on to you?
I know before I moved in there, I know he told me he said he's in love with me. But I told him that I just came up from a relationship, because I came to Sacramento away from my ex-fiance, and I don't want to deal with nothing with it. I don't have no feeling for him or no, other guys.
When did you tell him that?
I told him that before I moved in the house.
Did she tell you that, sir?
Yes, but I have never told her that I loved her or anything like that.
Yes, she did.
Well, what did you tell her? You told her that you liked her?
I thought she was a nice person.
No, I mean, did you say to her you would like to have a relationship with her, and she said, no, I'm not?
I never said anything like that. She said something like that.
What did she say?
She told me that she thought I was one of the nicest guys that she ever met, and that she was having a hard time with her estranged boyfriend in Sacramento. That's one of the reasons why she had to get away from him and then move down to here. And, just that she said not too often that she meets someone like me.
Did you think she liked you?
And so I felt that it was more coming from her than from me.
Did you like her?
I would say yes, but I never made any kind of advances toward her.
But you liked her?
Yes.
Robert Schumann wants Malipon Sally to pay him rent, car repairs, and a gambling debt. Sally says he became too possessive.
Okay, ready to rule.
Ready to rule.
There are 3 things you're suing for, sir. You're suing for rent, you're suing for your car, and you're suing for the money that you loaned her to gamble.
Could I say one thing, Your Honor?
Sure.
I have a rental agreement here that was signed by her back in April. I have a promissory note that she had already made out.
When did she sign this?
But beginning of September. after I filed a suit against her because I told her I was going to garnish her wages. I was going to do whatever it takes me to
Did
get my
you
money
sign
back.
this promissory note?
What's a promissory note?
You don't know what this is?
He gave me some papers. I just signed it. I don't know what that was for.
When did he give it to you?
Last week.
Tell me the
I have a
circumstances
witness.
surrounding which you gave her this paper, sir, and when you gave it to her.
I gave it to her about the beginning of September.
Where did you give it to her? In your house?
I gave it to her at the casino after I had already thrown her out. I threw her out toward the end of August.
He didn't
Then I informed her at the time that I was going to sue her to get my money back.
Yes.
And then that's when she thought that I was going to tell her family that she was gambling all her money away down here in Southern California. So she went ahead and signed that promissory note.
Well, what would make her think that you were going to tell her family that she was gambling all of her money away?
Because she knew that I was very upset about it. She knew that at that time I was being also seen by a doctor at the same time.
What kind of
Because I was almost
doctor?
having a nervous breakdown over this.
You having a nervous breakdown over what?
Over all of this.
Over what, sir?
All the money that she owed me.
She doesn't owe you that much money, sir. Let me tell you something. If you
I
lend
don't have a lot of money.
Mr. Schumann, listen to me carefully, sir. You lend somebody your car, and if the transmission goes on the car, that's not necessarily their fault. Transmission can go on a car when anybody drives a car. It could have been you behind the wheel of the car or anybody else. As far as the money that you gave her when she was gambling, you got to chalk that up to your stupidity, because somebody who doesn't pay you rent, who doesn't pay you, according to you, what you think is owed for repairing your car, you don't go and give them money to gamble, because that's just dumb. I do believe, however, based upon what, not only what you told me, but what she pretty much tells me, is that she had an agreement to pay you rent. You say that there was an agreement to pay you rent of $450 a month. She says, when she's not backtracking and covering herself, well, I told him that I would pay him when I had money from my work, but clearly she had money from her work because she was gambling, and if she was gambling, she had extra money because she wasn't paying rent, which she should have been paying. Does that make sense to you, Bird?
Clear, crystal clear.
If I have a test, I have a receipt here from the mechanic that set the damages to that car. It said all that kind of damage would never happen if someone had just stopped the car right there and not drive it 5, 6, 7, 8 miles.
Maybe she was in a place where it wasn't good to stop, sir. If I'm in a car and a car's lights are going off and I'm on a parkway and it's not convenient to stop because there's nothing else around there, I'll drive it until it dies. It's not her fault that the transmission went. Miss Sally, you lived there 4 months?
Yes.
You paid no rent. Everybody pays rent. You owe them $1,800 in rent. Do you understand? How much did you pay him?
I used to pay him sometimes $100, $200, $300.
Show me proof.
He's the one that has the proof.
Did she pay you any money,
She
sir?
didn't pay me anything.
Of course she didn't. You want to know why she didn't? Because she lies. Miss Sally, you're not always going to be able to get away with your good looks. You're not always going to be able to get away with getting over on people. And I think you've been doing that probably a long time. Now, he is clearly not very socially adept, if you know what that means. Not too swift when it comes to the social stuff. He couldn't figure out that after 2 months he was being taken. Waited 4 months to figure out that he was being taken, and you finally moved out. You moved out owing him money for rent. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff for the rent only in the amount of $1,800. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I told him there was a doubt. It could have been this other person or himself. I was dating them both at the same time.
When did you tell him that he was not Crystal's father?
A case of secrets and lies.
You didn't tell him, Miss Dunn, before you were married that he might not be the father of this child.
No, I did not.
You're supposed to love your children more than you hate each other.
Parties on Faddis versus Dunn. Step forward, please.
42-year-old tree trimmer Daniel Faddis is suing his ex-wife, 38-year-old Kelly Dunn, for the cost of their daughter's group home. Daniel says he may not be the father.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 333 on the calendar in the matter of Faddis versus Dunn. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have seats, please.
Mr. Faddis, you and the defendant had been married for some time.
Yes, ma'am.
How many years?
9 years.
And had 3 children during the course of the marriage?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, when you divorced, you were given custody of the 3 children.
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
This is a difficult lawsuit because according to your complaint, only recently your former wife told you that you were not the biological father of your oldest child, who was 14?
Yeah.
That child was at some point in a state institution.
Yes, ma'am, she was.
And the state wants you to pay for the money that they expended while she was in that institution.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of an institution was that?
It was a group home after she got out of juvenile hall. They put her in a group home, and now the group home's going after me for the expenses.
And the expenses were what, sir? 2,000?
I've got it right here. 2,892, my part, my share.
$2,892.
$92, yes, ma'am.
When you say your share,
Yes, ma'am.
was that half of the expense?
No, that's my expense based on what I make.
I've also been furnished with the copy of a paternity test that you recently took, which indicate that you are, in fact, not the biological father of this child.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't feel as if it's reasonable, given that, to have to pay this amount?
No, ma'am, I don't.
When did Ms. Dunn here tell you that you either were not or probably were not the father of this child?
It was about 2 years, 2 years ago, 2 years, 6 months ago. It was prior to her moving back to in my hometown.
And you were moving back there with the children, with the 3 children?
No, she was moving back to where I lived. She had moved away, gone to live with her father, and she was moving back.
To where you were living with the children?
Yes, ma'am.
I see. And what prompted this conversation, sir?
She wrote me a letter, and I had gotten several phone calls on the phone, and at first I dismissed.
Well, what did she write you the letter about?
Well, she stated in this letter that I'm not the dad and that she was going to fight to get the kids back.
How long had you had custody of the children at that point?
Probably a year and a half.
When you were given custody of the children, was she present in court?
No, ma'am, she was not.
Was there a trial, a custody trial?
Yes, ma'am, we'd gone to mediation, and she didn't show up for the mediation, so they gave me custody of the kids.
Were the children with her at that point when they gave you custody of the children?
No, she had given them to me, and I was taking care of them at the time.
And after she gave you the children, you went to court to get a legal order of custody?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
When did you tell him that he was not Crystal's father?
It was after we were married. I'm not sure about what time.
How much after? 6 months, a year,
around
2
6
years?
months to a year. There was a doubt. I told him there was a doubt. It could have been this other person or himself. I was dating them both at the same time.
So you never told him he wasn't the father. You told him there was a chance.
There was a big chance, yes.
Did she ever tell that to you?
It had come up in conversation that it's possible, but I dismissed it because she's lied to me several times in the past, and I just, I had raised her as my own.
So you knew early on, at least from her,
Yes,
that there was this chance that you were not Crystal's father.
Yes, ma'am.
And how old was Crystal when you married?
3 months.
Why would you tell him 3 months afterwards that there was a chance that he was not the father?
A lot of reasons. After we got married, he was very abusive. There was times where I was being beat up, thrown against walls, and things would come out of my mouth just like this is a mistake I made. I can't believe I made this mistake. You're not the father. Leave me alone, kind of stuff. He was put in and out of jail for at least 10 years of our marriage. There's over I have 4 police reports here. There's others in San Jose, over 10 more arrests for abuse and spousal abuse, child abuse. I have 2 counts here. Assault with a deadly weapon on myself and my family.
If this is the kind of terrible person he is, why didn't you show up for the custody hearing?
At that time, I had no job.
So what?
I showed up. Well, I can't explain my situation at that time. I was very confused, upset. I needed psychiatry help. I was not together at this point. I felt he had the money. He's the one who could take care of it. At this point, he went through family counseling to help his temper and stuff. He was going through parenting classes and stuff like that. I felt maybe he would be the better parent until I got help for myself. That's why I moved to my father's.
First, would you show this to the defendant and ask her if this is her handwriting?
Yeah, I really don't remember. A long time ago. Oh, yeah, it is my printing. I didn't sign it, but yes, it is my printing.
Ms. Dunn, there were some very good things in this letter. There were some very bad things in this letter.
Yes, there was.
Generally speaking, what you say in this letter is, I didn't love you when we got married, but I grew to love you.
Yes.
To him. It's too bad we can't get along, but we have kids. Don't, I want to be part of the children's lives. Let's put whatever differences we have behind us and just let me have a relationship with my kids.
Yes.
That's what this letter says, so far. I haven't gotten to the bad part yet, but I will. The bad part, Ms. Dunn, is that you say in this letter, if I have to fight dirty, I'm going to fight dirty. And if that means telling Crystal that you're not her father, I'm going to tell Crystal that you're not her father. Because if that's the only way that I can make sure I have my daughter, that's what I'm going to have to do. That is tragic.
I know, ma'am.
You're supposed to love your children more than you hate each other and put your children's interests above your own all the time. Period. End of discussion. For a young teenage girl to be hit with this reality is devastating.
Yes, ma'am.
Daniel Faddis is suing his ex-wife, Kelly Dunn, for the cost of their daughter's group home. He contends he is not the father.
Where is Crystal living now?
She lives with me.
And the 2 other children live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen Crystal?
Well, I've seen her a couple of times. Once while she was in the group home, and a couple of times when I went to drop off the kids at her house, I seen her, and that's pretty much been the...
Have you reached out to her?
When we went to court, I tried my best in every way that I possibly could to keep her from going to her mom's. I didn't think that was a good place for her up until the time that she told Crystal that I may not be her dad. Crystal and I had a pretty good relationship. Since then, it's fallen apart.
What was she doing in the group home?
While she was living with her mother, she got thrown in juvenile hall again, and they took her away from Kelly and put her in a group home.
What did you get put in juvenile hall for?
Ma'am, she was put in juvenile hall by him first. I got the leftovers when I took custody of her. She was emotionally upset. She was experimenting with drugs. She was doing things that she should not be doing at the age of 13. I went to court, took custody of her. I moved to Fresno from the mountains, which was a big adjustment for her. She started rebelling, hanging around, getting bad grades, flunking. No matter what I did, my child would not listen to me. Finally, I called the probation officer after I had to commit my daughter to a 72-hour lockdown in a psychiatric because she was slamming her head against a window.
Out of control.
Out of control, completely. So I put her into this home, which originally was only going to be for 3 months, but because she was not making progress or showing any progress, I went to court and I suggested that she stay longer.
Okay.
She ended up staying a year.
And now she's home with you?
Oh, yeah, A, B student,
so it was better?
Excellent, she's excellent.
Do you have any other children?
No, I don't, no, that's it.
So you work?
I am going to school full-time as a computer school, and I get unemployment at this time, so I won't be, my ideal is I do not want to flip hamburgers the rest of my life.
Well, you have...
and I'm learning computer, and I have a computer myself, and I would like,
Well, that's fine, but don't you feel as if, under the circumstances of this case, you are responsible for this $2,800?
Yes, I do, ma'am. I also went down, apparently, I went down, you went a week before I did, after we went the first time to the DA's office, and I talked to the DA, and I said I would want all responsibility taken from Danny. They said, because Danny has raised her this long, even though knowing this, they do not want to, because of the group home and all this stuff, and the psychiatrist, therapist, they do not want to, you know, traumatize her anymore. And I said, okay, and I even gave them description of the other possible parents. And they do not want to go, they don't want to go after this person. They want Danny to be responsible.
Have you spoken to the person who you now know is the biological father of your daughter?
No, I have not. It was about 3 years ago I talked to him last. He was moving to Sacramento, California.
What did you speak to him about 3 years ago?
We were talking because Danny and I were, because at this time my daughter did really know, basically, that there may be a possibility. And I was talking to him, and he said that if anything happens, let him know. You know, he would like to participate, or he would take responsibility for that. And I said, well, this is my daughter. That's not the point. Crystal feels in her heart that she would like to. You know, she's losing a father here. That's what she feels right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't know what's going to happen. You know, maybe she would like to meet the other person. Maybe she has a brother or sister here or there. Maybe there's another part of the family that she may look like. You know, these kind of things.
So she has an interest in seeing...
She does have an interest.
She has an interest in seeing who her biological father was.
Yes.
And is.
And is.
When was the first time you told him that he was likely the father or possibly the father of this child?
After I've told Danny, or long before that, it was about 1 year, 2 years into my marriage. And he, at the same time, he wasn't sure either. You know, not without a paternity test, we could never know. You know, but he always said if ever, you know,
if ever you want a paternity test, you can have one.
Well, basically, and he was willing to contribute also, but that wasn't the case. It had to be one father at that point.
Daniel Faddis is suing his ex-wife, Kelly Dunn, for the cost of their daughter's group home. He says her daughter is not his. She says it doesn't matter.
Have you contributed, did you contribute to the support of these 3 children during the time that they were with their father?
No, I did not. We had an agreement. When we went to our divorce, Danny said he wanted me to get on my feet, you know, get a good job, to learn to support myself and our children. And that was our agreement. And that...
So he supported the children himself?
Yes, he did. Why he had
For how long?
Approximately, he's had them for 3 years, no longer than 3 years.
So for the 3 years that he had the children, he supported them himself?
Yes, he has.
So for the 3 years that they were with him, you did not contribute anything to the support of your children, because according to you, this man who did a lot of terrible things said to you, I want you to get on your feet, I want you to go to school, I want you to prepare yourself. That sounds like a very reasonable person to me.
It was very reasonable.
Well, it is very reasonable, and he supported the children during that 3-year period with no help from you. And right now, not only is he supporting 2 of the children, but in addition to that, he's also gotten hit with a bill for $2,892. You want to say anything else, Mr. Faddis?
Yes, ma'am. I have a... she claimed Crystal on the 96 income tax, and I've sued her for that also. It was $359 or something. I had her for that year, and she had her for the last 4 months of that year, and she claimed her on her income tax check, which cost me penalties when I claimed. And that was $300 and some odd.
Why did you claim the child on your tax returns?
I had her for 6 months of that year, Dan.
I got proof right here.
Just
that
let me
you didn't.
say,
She moved in with me. I don't have any proof with me. No, I took custody of her.
And when?
October, November. I had her living with me before I took custody.
You said
of her.
October? No, you just said October.
I took custody of her in October, but I had her with me after I retrieved her from the group home.
When?
I took her back in, August, around August time when he was arrested for child abuse.
August. So August, September, October, November, December. That's
Okay.
5 months. That's less than half a year. And what year was this?
It was 96.
96. Let me see the papers that you have. So what date did you say that you took the child? Took custody of the child?
Right here is the court order that I got custody of her, and this is when she got custody of her.
Well, let me see when she got custody of her. This says that you received custody in October of 96.
Yes, but I had her before that time, though, also. She was living with me before that because he abused her, beat her up, basically.
Oh, geez.
I have a police report right here, Danny.
Well, let me see it, madam.
Yes,
let me see it. You told me that she
here.
was taken out of...
Okay, right here. There's the case number, Fresno County, child abuse.
Let me see the date.
There we go. On the top one.
This is from you. I'm not interested in your letter to me.
Well, that's the only way I could have got a document at that short notice. I only had a few time to prepare for this.
I don't know what you're showing me.
I'm showing you the police record. It was on child abuse.
This is something that you wrote to me, but assuming that you're giving me the accurate dates, it says in August of '96 is when he was arrested for child abuse on Crystal.
And I retrieved her at that time.
From where?
From the juvenile hall.
From juvenile hall. So that was in August.
Yeah, and I took
August, September, October, November, December.
Okay,
That's less than half a year.
Okay.
So you had no right to claim her. He had her for more than that time. And up until that time, he still had legal custody, which gave him the right to claim her as a tax deduction.
Okay.
You have a countersuit.
Yes,
Your countersuit is pretty much nonsense.
It is.
Right?
I don't feel so, but I guess you do.
Well, I feel as if, your countersuit basically is that he's put you through a lot of emotional stress. Right? That's what your countersuit says, that he's put you under...
And my daughter. My daughter also.
No, not your daughter. You.
I have documents here from the group home and also her psychiatrist that we see, and they've been stating what interacted between us all during this time.
It sounds like a terribly sick interaction with you losing your temper and screaming at the father in front of her that he's not her father. What more damage can you do to a child? If a child hears that when a child's 9 years old, you never forget it. And you did that, according to you, Ms. Dunn, because you were angry. Let me see the debit from IRS, sir.
And this is the copies of the checks that I paid to them.
$336.
Yeah.
$3,228. You're supposed to love your children more than you hate each other.
Yes, ma'am.
You say, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Did the wrong thing. Little girl is going to suffer. Maybe your daughter can be one of those lucky children that has two fathers, a biological father and a father who was involved in her rearing. It's just like those children who are adopted and want to know what when they grow up, what their biological parents and who they were. Well, she would like to know. And she would like to know sooner rather than later because of all the sadness that you folks have brought into her life. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You were giving the defendant a parking ticket.
I was leaning over and writing the VIN number. He then took the door and slammed it into me.
The case of the accident-prone officer.
10 days later, he had another injury.
Your Honor, there's been 5 injuries or so, I believe, in the last year.
Officer Muse, I think that you may be in the wrong line of business, sir. It seems to you are very accident-prone.
Parties on Muse versus Pasley. Step forward, please.
While writing a parking ticket, 43-year-old police officer Charles Muse claims 38-year-old executive Larry Pasley assaulted him. Larry says he got a ticket, but he never hit him.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 363 on the calendar in the matter of Muse versus Pasley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Muse, you are a police officer. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
By whom are you employed?
Los Angeles County.
And according to your complaint, you were giving the defendant a parking ticket, his car a parking ticket, and he assaulted you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
You want to be compensated, you're suing him for $5,000.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Why don't you tell me when and where this happened?
Approximately November 22nd, 1997, at about 3:35 in the afternoon on a Saturday, I was working the southeast portion of my zone when my attention was drawn to the defendant's illegally parked red truck.
And you were, in fact, parked in a no parking zone. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I sounded my vehicle, my unit's loud horn to get the attention of the soccer players and persons standing along the soccer line.
Just one moment. Soccer is the first time we're hearing about soccer. This was a soccer field,
Soccer field, yes, ma'am.
and the defendant was not in his car.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So what did you do then?
While writing the citation, I had to get up to the windshield of the vehicle because it was a new vehicle. It had a dealer's plate, no California license plate installed. So I had to get the VIN number from the vehicle from the front windshield area. At that point, the driver, the defendant, appeared from the rear of the vehicle, and he activated his remote alarm or his remote control to unlock his front doors. At that point, I was leaning over and writing the VIN number. He then took the door and slammed it into me, knocking me back and off balance.
Okay. And what happened to you as a result of being struck with the door?
Well, I ended up having treatment at a local hospital, and I was temporarily disabled from work.
For how long?
Approximately 2 months.
Can I see the medical report? All right, so looking at these, at the initial reports, one is dated the 22nd of November, which is the date that this occurred.
That is the date of injury.
And that says the general information, it said you may return to work in 1 day. That's what the first one says, right?
Yes.
And then I see you went back to the emergency room on the 24th of November.
Yes.
2 days later. And it said return for worsening, and you returned 2 days later for worsening of the pain and swelling.
Yes.
Did you have x-rays taken?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any diagnosis?
The diagnosis was an elbow contusion.
And then there was a report here from the 24th again, 2 days later, and it says work status returned to regular work on 2/24, which was 2 days after this incident. Is there anything here that indicates that you were authorized to be out for 2 months?
Yes.
Can I see that, please?
This is from the Workers' Compensation Board, and normally the doctors ask you to follow up in a couple days to see how you're doing.
How long have you been on the force, sir?
21 years, Your Honor.
Is this the first time you were ever disabled?
No, Your Honor.
How many times have you been disabled?
Several times, Your Honor.
How many times?
At least 5.
As a result of?
Injuries on duty.
Immediately prior to this, when were you disabled?
Probably, I think it was 95, Your Honor.
And how long were you out of work in 1995?
6 months.
What was the nature of that injury?
That was a neck and back injury from a traffic accident.
So in 95, you were out for 6 months, and immediately prior to that, when was your immediate previous time that you were out of work as a result of a job-related injury?
I don't have any independent recollection of that, Your Honor.
In the 90s?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you recall for what, sir?
One for a dislodged finger, for contracting tuberculosis in a hospital.
Dislodged finger. How long were you out of work for the finger?
I believe a week, Your Honor.
And you must have been out of work for a long time as a result of the contracting TB.
No, actually, I was put on medication and returned to duty.
After how long?
After 1 day.
So you didn't contract TB. You might have tested positive
I tested
for
positive,
it, but
yes, Your Honor.
But they did the follow-up tests, and it was negative. And
That's
they were
correct.
negative. Okay, sir. You want to tell me your version of these events, and then I have an important question to ask you.
Okay. First of all, when I first walked up to the vehicle, he turned and he looked at me, and he said, "Is this your vehicle?" And I said, "Yes, sir, it is." And I went on to explain to him that I had parked there because when we had got to the park, it was a championship game for my daughter, and that there was no place to park. And he said, "Well, I'm still writing your ticket, and you are never, ever supposed to park in the red."
He's absolutely right.
Yes, he is.
Okay. There you go.
No problem with that. So then I turn around, I started to walk away, and then I remembered that I needed to get my wallet because my kids wanted something to eat at the concession stands. So I thought, well, while I'm here, I'll go ahead and get my wallet out of the car. So I turned around, I went back. He was still at the front fender writing down the VIN number of the vehicle. He turned, he was watching me. I hit my door lock. I did open the door. As I reached in, I grabbed my steering wheel, opened the center console, get my wallet. At that second, he yelled, "Hey." I turned, I looked at him through the door, and I said, "What?" He said, "You just hit me." I said, "I just what?" He said, "You just hit me with your mirror." I said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know that my mirror touched you. I'm very sorry, I didn't mean for it to touch you." He says, "If you do that again," he pointed his finger, says, "If you do that again, I'm going to arrest you." I said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for my mirror to touch you." He said, "Fine, get out of there and get away from the vehicle." I backed up, I closed the door, hit my door lock, and walked back up to the game. Okay? Then, as we were at the game, we were watching him walking around my vehicle, and I was concerned that he was going to have my vehicle towed away. So we were concerned, so I had asked my wife to go down and see if she could move the vehicle if he was done writing the ticket. And then she went down to do so. And at that time, he told her that she couldn't move the vehicle, that he was thinking about arresting me.
Police officer Charles Muse is suing executive Larry Pasley for medical bills and lost wages. Larry says the assault never happened.
You the wife?
And that's what happened. I went down there to move the vehicle and also to get my purse out of the car because I was concerned of it being towed. And then I went up to Officer Muse and he says, "Is this your vehicle?" I said, "Yes." And he says, "Where's your husband?" I said, "He's watching his daughter's game." He said, "Well, I advise you to go get him because I've called for backup and I'm thinking about arresting him." And he says, "Either you go get him or we're going to make a scene when he gets here." And I'm like, "It's no problem. He's just watching his daughter's game. I'll go get him." And that's what I did. I left and went and got him. And as we were coming back, that's when all the officers came. And that's when the arrest took place.
Now, you say, go ahead.
No, as far as the medical records go, we have subpoenaed them, and we do have the hospital records, and we can show you that. That what
we can show you, Honor, that he
Let
was
me just see them. I'm really good at reading hospital records.
Okay. There has been accident before.
Officer Muse, did the defendant leave the scene after and go back to the game after you were hit with his car door?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you do after he left?
Well, after he disappeared around the back of his vehicle and ran up to the soccer field.
Is that what he did?
That's what he did, and disappeared into a group of soccer players or pedestrians. I then, for the safety of the public and myself, not knowing why this man would strike me with his door and then leave, not knowing what I had there, I called for additional backup units and a supervisor. But when he showed up at the location of the vehicle, he was very angry and wanted me to dismiss the ticket that I had already started writing.
I assume
and
he
I
was
told him I
very
couldn't do that. And he then hit the door lock and swung the door into me, knocking me back. Before I can say anything to him, he had already gone up to the soccer field.
Okay. He's saying that he was looking over, taking down your VIN number. You do not deny that you opened up your door, and in all probability, by opening up your door, you hit him with the mirror or part of the door. What I don't understand is why you felt it necessary at the moment that he was standing over there, taking down your VIN number to get something for your daughter to eat. So you opened up the door with him standing right there. Now, you could have gone the other way and opened up the door and gone in through the other way to get your wallet that was in the car, that you left in the car. You could have crawled in the back. Any normal person under these circumstances who wasn't angry, sir, would not have done anything to interfere with the police officer taking down your number to write you a ticket. And the fact that you decided at that moment that you forgot your wallet and you wanted to get your daughter something to eat belies credulity, because at this point you are so mad that you are getting a ticket. You're not thinking, hey, just a second. You're not thinking about your wallet inside and to get your daughter an ice cream. And if you are thinking about it, and if what you're going to tell me is that you were cool-headed and this really was no big deal, then you were cool-headed enough to walk around to the passenger side of the car, open up the car door, reach into the center console, and get your wallet. Right? My question to you is, did you plead guilty?
They dropped the assault charge, and I pleaded no contest to the 143.
143 is obstructing justice.
Right.
Right? So you pled guilty. When you plead no contest, it is the same thing as pleading guilty, and I'm certain you had an attorney because you had expenses, and your attorney explained that to you, that you pled guilty.
Yes, he did.
Fine. That makes this all very easy. I don't even have to make a determination as to who's right and who's wrong. You're wrong, you pled guilty. There's no question as to your liability, the only question is to damages. And the question of damage is something that I have to look at all these papers to see. Less than a month after this, sir, I have reports here from a hospital that indicate that you were injured, left knee and ankle.
Yes, Your Honor.
How'd that happen?
That was in a wet office on a rainy day, slipping and falling in a wet office floor.
In a wet office?
Office floor.
Were you working on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
As a police officer?
Yes, ma'am.
So you were back to work?
That's
you weren't
correct,
out
ma'am.
of
That's
work for
correct,
2
ma'am.
months?
That's correct, ma'am.
Well, you just told me before that you were out of work for 2 months because of this injury.
Ma'am, apparently there was a misunderstanding about that, and I had simply forgotten about that subsequent injury.
Well, with regard to this subsequent injury, sir, you went to the doctor on the 6th, the 8th, the 15th, and the 19th of December.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, based upon what, Officer Muse, were you out of work for 2 months? Were you out of work for 2 months because of this injury in December or because of the injury that the defendant caused you?
That's unknown without those records present with me right now, Your Honor, as to how long each injury took for me to be recovered from.
Police officer Charles Muse wants to be compensated for medical bills and lost work. He claims Larry Pasley assaulted him as he wrote a parking ticket.
Let me tell you this, Officer Muse. I'm a really strict law and order person. And somebody's being given a parking ticket, and they lose their temper, and they, in any way, hurt an officer. I am appalled as a citizen and as a law enforcement person myself. Wrong, 100%. But Officer Muse, what's equally as irritating to me are police officers who come into court, like you, and who just told me not more than 2 minutes ago that you were out of work for 2 months as a result of what this man did to you. And I was prepared to listen to that.
That was my
And you
recollection.
showed me documentation allegedly to support that. And here I have hospital records that are lengthy that say that you were not out of work because according now to your statement, you were back at work 3 weeks later and you were injured again. And now you tell me, well, you forgot about that? You forgot about an injury that caused you to go to a hospital on 4 separate occasions? You forgot about it?
Your Honor, there's been 5 injuries or so, I believe, in the last year or two, and I just don't have all those records with me, but I have an attorney that works on all of that for me. I know that I was out for a period of time due to the injury caused by him.
No, you weren't.
For a period of time.
No, you weren't, sir. I have no idea when you went back to work. You told me that you were out for 2 months. You gave me a letter that said that you were going to get disability benefits from January 18th through January 5th. And it was December 6th that you were injured here. Now, how much after the incident with the defendant did you go back to work?
I'm not sure about that, Your Honor, but if you look at the forms, it'll show the date of injury on there, and it's 11/22, Your Honor.
Just a second, I saw what it said there. That said, the
That's what I
2
was-
pieces of paper,
that's
sir,
what I
that
was
you
going
gave me,
by.
listen to me.
Yes, Your Honor. That's what I was
The
going
2
by.
pieces of paper that you gave me, 2,
Yes, Your Honor.
dealt with the injuries that you say were caused by the defendant. The first one first doctor that saw you immediately thereafter at the emergency room said, go back to work tomorrow. Put a little ice on it and go back to work tomorrow.
Your Honor.
Then,
Okay.
then you went back 2 days later and you said it's still swollen. You went back complaining again. I don't know what you were told at that point, sir, about, because there's nothing else here to suggest that you were told anything but put ice on it and go back to work. 2 weeks later, you fell and you were injured during the course of your employment in an office?
Yes, Your Honor.
What kind of an office?
The Parks office.
Parks Department?
Yes.
You were on duty in the Parks Department doing official business in the Parks Department?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a lawsuit against the county with regard to that injury?
The fall, the slip and fall?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
What else do you want to show me?
This is on the 4th, on 11/24. This is notes from the doctor that he stated that...
Just a second, don't tell me he stated. I can read.
I'm sorry.
Also on the 24th, the doctor told you to go back to work.
On the 24th?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the 24th, he told you to go back to work. He told you to go back to work on the 22nd, on the 23rd. He said, go back to work tomorrow. And on the 24th, he said, go back to work today. Officer Muse, I think that you may be in the wrong line of business, sir. It seems to you are very accident-prone. In any event, I do not excuse, sir, what you did. Yes. Because what I think that you did was you lost your temper a little bit, and you banged your door into him. I am not going to ascribe to the plaintiff any other motive, although I might. So I think he is entitled to some damage from you. And that damage, I am awarding him $1. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This case is not brain surgery. You lived together in 1994. That time you purchased a computer. That is the computer that you purchased. Correct?
I couldn't pay for the computer.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's not his problem.
A case of cyber love lost.
Well, Your Honor, I tried to make restitution with Mr. Atchison.
Try.
All parties on Atchison versus Dahl. Step forward, please.
31-year-old nurse Charles Atchison is suing former lover, 36-year-old health educator Deborah Dahl, over a computer they shared.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 369 on the calendar in the matter of Atchison versus Dahl. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
This case is not brain surgery. You lived together in 1994. That time you purchased a computer. That is the computer that you purchased. Correct? You separated a couple of years later. You took the computer.
Yes.
And you were paying on the computer because you had bought it on credit.
Correct.
And then you ran into some hard times. You decided you didn't want to pay for the computer anymore. And you stopped paying for it.
I couldn't pay for the computer.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's not his problem.
Right.
You didn't pay for the computer anymore.
Correct.
But you had both co-signed on a loan.
Correct.
You ended up paying off the credit company because they were coming after you.
My credit, yes.
And how much did you pay them?
I paid them, they would contact me over the couple
Don't give me a whole story. How much did you pay them?
$3,100.
Show me. How much did you pay in total for this computer?
I paid $3,600, $3,606.
$3,606. How much did you pay for this computer in the years that you had it?
Approximately $2,800.
Boy, it must have been very high interest rate.
It's a very long loan.
All right. Now, that's what you settled on, $3,100 to pay off the loan to keep your credit clean.
Correct.
Then you spoke to her and she said to you, go take the computer.
Correct.
So you took the computer.
I basically repossessed it.
You repossessed it, but it's worth very little.
Correct.
Good. When you leave today, listen to me. When you leave today, you're going to take the computer with you. Do you understand?
Okay.
Because there is absolutely no reason why you are not responsible for this $3,100. He shouldn't have the computer and his $3,100, but right now a computer that was bought in 1994 is worth nothing.
I disagree, Your Honor. I have proof to contrary.
That what? That it's
that the computer's worth approximately $800.
Perfect. It's going to be yours.
Okay.
It's going to be yours. He had to pay off $3,100. You say it's worth $800. You can take it. You can sell it. You can set it up any way you want to set it up. But there's no reason why you left, the relationship is over, you take the computer and you don't pay for it. That's outrageous.
Well, Your Honor, I tried to make restitution with Mr. Atchison. He called me twice on the telephone, and I said I would be more than happy to try and start making monthly payments. And
try
but Your Honor,
and make
he
this.
never showed me any proof, nor did he ever bring me a contract or anything to say, okay, you do owe the $3,100 to me, I'll give you back the computer, these are the monthly payments. He never did that. The next thing I know, I'm getting hauled into small claims court.
Listen, Ms. Dahl, if he would have said to me, or if I would have said to him, I will try to make payments. What kind of try to make payments? This is your property. You used it for several years. You were making some payments. You stopped making the payments, and he got stuck with it. You owe him $3,100. You take the computer. Judgment for the plaintiff, $3,100. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it's fair, it's equitable. I'm happy to have the computer back, and I'll be more than happy to pay.
I asked her to give me some money, anything to show that she was serious about helping to pay for it, and I didn't get any money from her at all.
And now the next case.
Parties on O'Brien versus Olson. Step forward, please.
30-year-old veterinarian assistant Kelly O'Brien is suing her former live-in lover, 29-year-old construction worker Scott Olson, for kicking her out. Scott is countersuing Kelly for knocking a hole in his bedroom door and the cost of a playhouse.
Who is Mr. Olson?
I am.
And who are you?
Jack Pierce.
We'll get to you in a second, Mr. Pierce. Why don't you have a seat?
Sit down.
According to this complaint, the two of you met in 1996 and moved in together, rented a house together. Each of you had a child. You have a 9-year-old daughter. I assume that that's your daughter. And you have a 15-year-old son.
16.
And you lived together for 2 years, and things started to go south. And according to your complaint, the defendant evicted you illegally from the house and retained some of your property.
Correct.
He has a counterclaim, which he's going to tell me about, for some bills and the cost of building a dollhouse for your daughter. Is that right?
A playhouse.
Playhouse. So why don't you tell me about this eviction first?
Well, I arrived up to the house with my daughter, and taped to the garage door, the house was locked, the locks had been changed, was a note from the defendant, said that my name had been taken off the lease, changed, he was now the sole tenant. All my belongings were in the house, unable to get to anything. My animals were in the back.
What kind of animals?
I had rescue animals for rescuing them. I had rabbits, I had cats.
How many?
About 5 rabbits, a cat.
5 rabbits and a cat?
Yeah. At that time, earlier, I had tried to find homes for them, knowing things were ending and I needed to move out. I was looking for a place, unable to find anything. And so I had to adopt them out quickly because I knew I was not going to be able to take them with me.
So you were planning on moving out?
Yeah, disagreements came, and he agreed that it was best if he moved out. And then a few days later, I found out he had no intentions of moving out.
He told you that he wasn't moving out?
Right.
So that you started to look for a place.
So I started to look for a place.
You know, you call it an illegal eviction. You were planning on moving, so something must have happened to trigger this note on the door and the locks changed. Had you been staying at the house?
Actually, things were going not well for about over 6 months. We pretty much, he had kicked me out of the bedroom. He locked me out, changed the locks on the bedroom door. I'm sleeping in the living room. All my bedroom furniture is out there. Things that I had brought in with are in the living room. I'm based out of the living room at this time.
Okay. And you were staying there every night until this illegal lockout, according to you?
I would go and stay at a friend's house. With the argument got out of control, I took my daughter and went elsewhere.
So how many days prior to finding this note on the door hadn't you slept in the house?
Probably about 5.
So for 5 days you hadn't been in the house at all to sleep?
No, I'm sorry, for 5 days, at this point I was on and off, sleeping at the house, not sleeping at the house. When the argument got rough, I took my child out, went and stayed at friends. I did not want her being a part of that anymore.
That's a good idea. So that says that you have good sense.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have lawnmowers, items that were given me by my grandfather.
Your grandfather gave you a lawnmower?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Your story gets more convoluted the more you're talking, madam.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kelly O'Brien claims former lover Scott Olson illegally evicted her and kept her belongings. Scott says she destroyed his place.
You had the electricity turned off and the phones, the utilities that were all in your name.
Correct.
Okay, and what closing bills did you receive? Let me see them.
I have the gas, the electric, the phone, the water.
Just give me...
There's all my canceled checks from my own personal account I had
Listen
open.
to me. Just August. Okay, so you paid these in August. Is that right?
Correct.
All right, so we have electric for $48.59, gas $62.06, water $74.94, and phone $146.61. Okay.
$332.20.
What other bills are outstanding? Anything else?
No, I just have receipts for items that I'm unable to obtain from him. I've been trying to call him and collect those.
Like what?
I have a jacuzzi that I purchased with money as a gift.
Okay, jacuzzi, do you have it?
Yeah, I've got a receipt that we purchased it together. It had nothing to do with the gift. Same thing with the account, that her personal account is both of ours. I've got the statements.
Shh.
Oh.
Let's go slowly because this is like a divorce proceeding here.
Basically.
Jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
You purchased it together.
Yes.
You have it.
Yeah.
You used this jacuzzi together, I assume, and
Yeah.
it was purchased from a joint account,
It
right?
was purchased, no, I'm sorry, Your Honor. It was purchased with money I received as a gift and my tax return. It was not any, he did
No,
not get any
that's-
taxes back, and his money was not, he did not have the additional money to pay for it at this time.
So you bought it as a couple.
Yes.
How much was the jacuzzi?
$700.
What else?
I have receipts for, I mean, it's just basically the stuff. Anything we purchased together, the couches, we purchased television sets with money that was given to me through my parents for Christmas, for holidays.
Miss O'Brien, you set up housekeeping with this man as if you were a couple.
I don't expect them all
Listen
back.
to me.
I
Of
expect-
course not. So if he's retained the property in the house, and it's his intention to keep the property in the house, there will be a value affixed to that property, and you will get half of it.
And I have things from my grandfather that was given to me that we were not purchased together.
Miss O'Brien, so far I have a jacuzzi. You mentioned a television set and furniture.
I have, okay. I do have items. I have a sailboard. I have lawnmowers, items that were given to me by my grandfather.
Your grandfather gave you a lawnmower?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
A
her sister
lawnmower,
gave
I
her
have-
the
he
lawnmower
gave
that
me a
didn't work that
barbecue.
we had to fix. I spent $60 fixing, or my parents did.
Just a second. So you have a lawnmower
And
at your
you
house?
used it.
Shh.
No, I do not have it anymore.
Where is it?
It's gone.
What do you mean it's gone? What
on
do you
the
do?
Wednesday, on the 24th of June, I was at work. I came home, and she had some friends come over, and she took 3/4 of all the stuff out of the house.
I was unable to
All
get
the
into the
furniture
house.
and everything. No, she was in the house. She was still in the house till August 3rd. I mean, I loved her wholeheartedly. In the
Did
last,
you take any of the things out of the house, Miss O'Brien?
My personal belongings that
What?
I came into with.
What?
My bed, my dressers, my dog.
What else?
I took a couple plates, a couple utensils to cook off
So you
of.
took some, just a second, so you took some kitchen utensils and kitchen equipment.
Correct.
So you were in the house. You were in the house.
This
and-
was before I was evicted.
Oh, just a minute. There you go. So before you were
I
evicted,
started packing.
Before you were evicted, you came in and took out your furniture.
I was
you took
still
out,
living there.
Shut, hey. You took out your bed. You took out your daughter's furniture. You took out kitchen utensils.
Correct.
Right? And I assume you did that all with a U-Haul or some sort of truck.
No, I did it just.
You
started
carried
packing.
out furniture in your bed and
No,
the
the
mattresses?
furniture was not. The furniture was not. The furniture was. I took utensils. I did not take the furniture. I'm sorry. The furniture was locked up in the garage. I wasn't able. I only took little things as I could pack, and moved to friends' houses because I noticed things disappearing. I started doing
Miss
the best I
O'Brien,
could.
your story gets more convoluted the more you're talking, madam.
I'm nervous.
Your
Your Honor, I'm
story gets
sorry.
more convoluted the more you're talking. Clearly angry with him. Maybe he's angry with you. But when it's over, it's over. Clearly you owe her part of these bills that are closing bills on the property.
Oh, yeah.
And clearly you owe her for half of the jacuzzi.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, what other things were bought with joint monies that you retain in the house?
The TV.
TV. Good.
Couches.
How much was the TV?
$200.
How about that $350?
Show me.
I do not have a receipt. I'm sorry.
When was the TV purchased?
It was
right after
after
Christmas.
Christmas from Walmart.
What size TV is
25-inch color.
He kept my daughter's belongings, Your Honor.
Ms. O'Brien, you keep talking, trying to get me off the track, and I guarantee you, madam, you are not going to do that.
I'm upset, Your Honor. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you may be upset, but if you're upset, that's your problem. You have to put a period to a mistake in your life and move on with it. And it's my job to try to at least make some sort of semblance out of the mess that you got yourself into, the two of you. But when people separate after 2 years, it's never going to be equal.
Kelly O'Brien claims former lover Scott Olson illegally evicted her and kept her belongings. Scott says she destroyed his place.
You say the television set is worth $200.
Uh-huh.
So here we go. You're going to give her the television set, and she's going to give you $100. How's that?
Fair.
Fair. Perfect. TV to plaintiff. Plaintiff pays $100 because he fixed the value of it. You said it was worth $350, so you just came out ahead of the game.
Okay.
What else?
My daughter's belongings. She'd like to get...
What belongings?
She has a cat that was left...
Do you have her daughter's cat?
No, I do not.
Was it left there?
It was left there. She took one cat and a dog. She left the cat. I fed Homer for a while, and then he just disappeared. I have no idea where he went. I thought she just came by and got him one night.
What's next?
I was unable to get her belongings and her cat.
You keep saying belongings.
Changed.
I keep asking you what?
Her toys, her books. Do you have
her toys and books?
No, I do not. There's nothing. I mean, I've got witnesses here. There was nothing left. After the 24th, when she took all her stuff out, or she took 99% of it except for her bed that she moved out on her own in the beginning of the month when she told me she didn't love me anymore. She couldn't stand to be there. She couldn't live in the same bedroom. She took all her stuff out of the bedroom, and she put it out in the front room. And then she started staying at her boyfriend's house and coming home from work, taking a shower, leaving at 7 at night, coming back at 6:30 in the morning every morning, you know, and just changing, going on her way, you know. It's just like...
All right, let us move now to your countersuit, sir. You have a real countersuit?
Yeah.
Let me hear.
Damages done to the house.
What kind
the
of
reason
damage?
why I locked her out, I had to have the lease changed in the first place because she came in, she broke into the house, she broke into my bedroom, she busted the screen off, she busted the window.
Those are pictures, I assume.
Yeah, we busted the door, put a hole in the door.
Okay, so I see this hole in the bedroom door. Did you do this?
Yeah.
No, that was when he put his fist through.
No, this is not a fist.
Yeah.
This is not a fist. What else? Did you see her do this?
No, my
Good.
son heard
Let's
her do
move
it.
on.
Okay, phone bill.
What phone bill?
After the phone was turned back on in my name, she got like $50 in calls, long distance calls to Texas and stuff to her girlfriend.
My girlfriend was at our house at that time.
So you have to get that money back from your friend, right?
I
mean, did he pay that bill that was...
I have no idea if he
Yes, I
paid
did.
it.
Well, show her.
Yeah, it's a phone bill.
Show her. Let's get to this dollhouse, sir, because you seem to be complaining a lot about this playhouse that you made, and you want to be compensated for your materials and time in making the playhouse.
It was $614.
Well, why do you think you should be compensated for that?
She talked me into building it, and then in the last month, just so was off doing other things instead of, you know, being in the house and that, and then I've got it all built and everything, and then she tells me she's got to leave. So it's like I built it for nothing, now it just sits empty.
I assume that you built the playhouse because you were fond of a little girl.
Oh yeah, I love her daughter to death.
Perfect. Good. Do you have the playhouse?
It's not portable.
So it's not portable?
No.
So it's in your house?
It's in the backyard, yeah.
Certain things you can't get compensated for.
Okie doke.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Miss O'Brien, first of all, I think that you're a little bit dramatic, and there's only one Sarah Bernhardt in this courtroom, and that's me. You were planning on moving. You were taking things out of the house little by little in anticipation of moving out. The fact that things got so hostile at some point that the locks were changed probably wasn't a terrific thing to do, but you are not going to get compensated for that. And I guarantee you, if the situation was reversed, you would have done the exact same thing. If he said he was moving and took his son and went and stayed at friends for a week before and came back and was taking things out little by little, as you were, you would have, in a flash, because I got your personality down, you would have changed the locks, you would have changed the locks, and if he tried to get in, you would have called the police and had him arrested. There isn't a question in my mind about that. So this relationship is over. I will try as fairly as possible to give you what will almost make you financially whole. And as far as you're concerned, sir, unless you find another girlfriend with a young child, you can go out and play with the playhouse all by yourself.
Okay.
Because you're not going to get compensated for that. All right, the TV is going to the plaintiff. That's going to cost the plaintiff $100. Thus far, $332 were bills that she paid off. Bird, do me a favor. $332 divided by 2.
166, Judge.
166. Half of the jacuzzi was $350. 166 and $350. Deduct $100 for the TV. Deduct $50 for her friend's phone bill. What do we have?
$366.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $366. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਭੈਣ ਭਰਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੇਟ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਵੀ ਦੀ ਬੜੀ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਪੇਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੰਦਗੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬਣੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ ਚਰਬੀ ਚੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਮੋਟਾਪਾ ਆ ਗੈਸ ਆ ਐਸਿਡਿਟੀ ਆ ਵੱਧ ਹਜਮੀ ਆ ਖੱਟੇ ਡਕਾਰ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ ਆ ਹਾਈ ਬੀਪੀ ਦੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਆ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਭਾਵ ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਪੇਟ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਜੇਕਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੇਟ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਫ਼ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਛੁਟਕਾਰਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਸੋ ਆਓ ਪੇਟ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨੁਸਖਾ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਨੁਸਖੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ 50 ਗ੍ਰਾਮ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤ੍ਰਿਫਲਾ ਚੂਰਨ 50 ਗ੍ਰਾਮ ਗੋਖਰੂ ਤੇ 50 ਗ੍ਰਾਮ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਲੱਠੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤਿੰਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜੋ ਪਾਊਡਰ ਬਣ ਜੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਕਸ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਆ ਮਿਕਸ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਦਾ 1 ਚਮਚ ਸਵੇਰ ਦਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾਣ ਤੋਂ 1 ਘੰਟੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਹਲਕੇ ਗਰਮ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਾਤ ਦਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾਣ ਤੋਂ 1 ਘੰਟੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਹਲਕੇ ਗੁਨਗੁਨੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੇਵਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ 1 ਮਹੀਨਾ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਹੌਲੀ-ਹੌਲੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੀਆਂ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਭੈਣ ਭਰਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਆ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਤੋਂ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਕਬਜ਼ ਦੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਆ ਗੈਸ ਬਣਦੀ ਆ ਖੱਟੇ ਡਕਾਰ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਸੀਨੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਲਨ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ ਵੱਧ ਹਜਮੀ ਦੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਆ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਚਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂ ਪੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਰਦ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਪੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਭੈਣ ਭਰਾ ਨੁਸਖਾ ਨੋਟ ਕਰ ਲੈਣ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਆ ਤ੍ਰਿਫਲਾ ਚੂਰਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤ੍ਰਿਫਲਾ ਚੂਰਨ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਖਾਲੀ ਪੇਟ ਗੁਨਗੁਨੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਧਾ ਚਮਚ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ 1 ਮਹੀਨਾ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀਆਂ ਪੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੀਆਂ ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀਆਂ ਹੌਲੀ-ਹੌਲੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੀਆਂ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨਾ ਹੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਮੀਦ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਇਹ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇਖਣ ਲਈ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਭੈਣ ਭਰਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਲਸ਼ੀਅਮ ਦੀ ਕਮੀ ਆ ਜੋੜਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਰਦ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਹੱਡੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਰਦ ਨਿਕਲਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਲੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਸੇਕ ਨਿਕਲਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਥੱਕ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਥਕਾਵਟ ਬਣੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੰਮ ਨੂੰ ਮਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਕੈਲਸ਼ੀਅਮ ਦੀ ਕਮੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਵਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਕਿ ਕੈਲਸ਼ੀਅਮ ਦੀ ਕਮੀ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਭੈਣ ਭਰਾ ਨੂੰ ਉਸਕਾ ਨੋਟ ਕਰ ਲੈਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ 100 ਗ੍ਰਾਮ ਚਿੱਟੇ ਤੇਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੋਹੇ ਦੀ ਕੜਾਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਹਲਕਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਭੁੰਨ ਲੈਣਾ ਆ ਭੁੰਨਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਿਕਸੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਰੀਕ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਪਾਊਡਰ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਆ ਇਹ ਪਾਊਡਰ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਖਾਲੀ ਪੇਟ ਕੋਸੇ ਗਰਮ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਖਾਲੀ ਪੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਸੇਵਨ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਧੇ ਘੰਟੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਹੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ 15 ਤੋਂ 20 ਦਿਨ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੈਲਸ਼ੀਅਮ ਦੀ ਕਮੀ ਆ ਜੋੜਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦਰਦ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੌਲੀ-ਹੌਲੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨਾ ਹੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਮੀਦ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਇਹ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇਖਣ ਲਈ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ